right. Quickly doing our administrative things. Good evening. Here's the beginning. See if we can get things to reload. Loading. All right, let's officially start. Let's go. Hello, how's it going? So if you are just joining us, and so all of you are just joining us, I have an interesting thing happening with my internet tonight, which has nothing to do with any of you guys other than we are getting some pretty massive thunderstorms tonight, and I have Starlink internet. So whenever we get really bad storms, since it's like it's receiving a signal on top of my house, sometimes my internet signal gets a little wonky. So technology, we love it whenever it works. When it doesn't, it provides problems. Anyways, okay, so let's start off our evening. Welcome to the Greenville Gab. As you know, I'm Aubree, and we are here every Thursday night to answer your questions and do that live, talk about the real estate market, talk about different things that are coming soon here to the upstate. And it's one of my favorite things that I get to do every week because it's always a good conversation. And to be honest with you, real estate for the last 2 weeks, I deal with people in their most emotional states whenever they are buying one of the largest assets that they probably have bought or selling. And I'm just coming across the wrong side of people the last 2 weeks. So anyways, so do me a favor. Make me smile. Tell me when you join our video tonight, go into the comments for me. Let me know where you are watching from, because that's always fun to see where across the country, across the world, sometimes you are tuning in. And if you're watching a replay or anything like that, hello. So I know some of you guys watch this the next morning. So good morning. How are you? But for everybody else, good evening. And I hope you've had a good Thursday. So with that, let's just kind of get into some of the things. I love talking about real estate, love talking about Greenville in general. And there's so much that is coming soon that is starting to, happen here in the upstate. Along with, there's a lot of uncertainty, I would say. If you pay attention to the news a whole lot, or you're doom scrolling on the socials, you have seen the big deals that have been happening this week. We have watched a crazy roller coaster in the stock market. We have watched our economy become even more questionable, and where are things going? And then we're watching our government. And to be quite honest with you, whether you are, I don't care about side, but I'm just kind of tired of seeing all of it. There you go. We're going to say that. But it's affecting the real estate market. It's affecting you guys. It's affecting, I sat down with somebody yesterday that day traded. It was the beginning of the crazy spike that happened. And I don't know. I don't know enough about stocks and such to, I know just enough to get myself in trouble. And at the same time, how is all of this going to be affecting the real estate market? I mean, that's what we do. So we are going to talk about that a little bit tonight. I'm not going to be super detailed into it because honestly, I feel like there's a lot of it that some other people we're going to have Brian McIntosh back in on the show here in the next couple of weeks. I think he's supposed to be here. I don't know, Michael, he's supposed to be here in 2 weeks or something. May. Yeah. So we'll have my Brian back to talk about interest rates, and then he will be able by that point really to be able to talk into like what's happened. So I'm really excited about that and what we have coming soon. So yeah, just let's go ahead and dive into some of the real estate world. And I'm going to be just straight up with you guys. I have been not quite pleased necessarily with what's been happening in the real estate market. So as always, we start off talking about just what's happening in upstate real estate world. So some of you may be watching it. Some of you may be going, Aubree, are prices holding steady? Are we losing? Are we starting to depreciate? Are we slowing down? Well, here's the thing I can tell you. There's really one major market in the country right now that is truly turning into a seller's market, and that's Florida. Florida is, I keep hearing that inventory is on the rise, and what's happening? We have so many people that are relocating from Florida. And I have a good friend of mine who does a live stream out of Orlando on Thursday nights, just the hour before ours here tonight. And I was listening to him talk about the Florida real estate market, and I'll get to this and how it correlates to South Carolina. I pay attention to the Florida markets really, really close because of the amount of relocation that we see coming out of Florida. At the same time, there are a ton of people that are still moving to Florida. They are relocating to Florida from other areas of the country. And it's very interesting. It's an interesting time in the real estate world to be watching like migration patterns and the cities that are growing because it's still happening. And I know that one of the major factors for the Florida market is insurance prices. Insurance is on the rise, and it is making it not great to live there. What I've also heard from so many of you guys, whenever I meet with you and say, hey, like, why are we looking to make the relocation? It's usually, hey, yeah, we relocated to Florida a couple years ago, maybe even more than a couple years ago. And it's just really grown up and become very densely populated. And that's not what you originally moved there for. So that's what you're moving out of. And I know a lot of people are afraid that that's what's going to happen to the upstate. I can tell you pretty confidently, there's a lot of space in the upstate. I mean, we drive all over the place, all over the upstate, usually within about an hour's driving radius. And there's space. And I'm interested to see how it continues to develop, the jobs that are going to be coming in, so on and so forth. I just think it's going to be interesting. So how I correlate the Florida market to Greenville is I want to follow trends. Is this what's happening? Like, is our market slowing down to the point where, new construction is just completely taking over? And there are some days and some of the areas and some of my listings that I'm like, yeah, the market is going to completely get taken over by new construction, slowing us down. I talked to some realtors in the Florida market within the last 2 weeks. And really what has happened is around new construction. If you live near new construction and your home is in the same price range of that as that new construction, you are going to have to compete with that new construction. So it is something that it's making life a little bit harder and harder to sell a house in Florida. But is that the same here for Greenville? I think every market is different. So as I kind of go into this, let's go over to the comments, see where everybody's watching from. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Hey, Glenn from Massachusetts. Look at you. Has it warmed up there yet? Huh? Hey, I thought it was beautiful weather today, Michael. It was in the 60s and I was happy.
It's not warm enough for me.
Says the man who showed up in a sweater today. But what am I? I'm still wearing my jacket. But anyways, all right, let's see here. Hey, Stephanie, Mark, how's it going? Glenn, you've got a good question to start us off tonight. Would I attempt to sell my house right now? So I sold, story time, right? So I sold my house a year ago. Almost like I put my house on the market, or was attempting to put my house on the market almost a full year ago. And I think it's very different. I have lived in the Travelers Rest area for majority of my time that I've lived in the upstate. Outside of my first 6 months when I lived in Taylor's for a minute, I have always lived on this side of town. What I can say is if you are in some of the hotter areas, so Travelers Rest is one of those hot button areas that a lot of people like, ooh, Travelers Rest. We love the downtown. We love, what it has and the festivals and the cute little Main Street. Yeah, like a lot of people want to live close by here. And I would absolutely look to sell my house if I was anywhere within a 10 to 15 minute radius of this town. Now, if I live further out, so say it took me 20 to 30 minutes to get to my main shopping, or it was just in a location that there wasn't as many things to do, like I would have to drive a little bit farther, I'd probably say, hey, like if you don't have to right now, or if you're not willing to do the updates to your house needed in order to get it sold, maybe I would take a minute and breathe through that. Let's see here, Glenn. You said your house is 40 miles outside of Boston. I've got somebody else who's relocating here from Boston, actually. I talked to them within the last week. So in that area, I don't know. I'd have to talk to a realtor in your market just to see if they're experiencing what we're experiencing. So I showed these stats. Let's go over here to this. Quite often, because I want you to see that, hey, as far as of March, so March 10th, and these numbers, we're increasing days on market completely, like just across the board. Our median price is flat, which means we aren't seeing as much appreciation, if any appreciation. We are actually down in our volume and we are down in units. So to me, this also means that but look at this, our average price is up. It's up across the board. So housing is not necessarily getting cheaper. What's happening right now is you have to be very realistic about your price. A lot of people right now are wanting top dollar for their real estate, but it's not the market that's going to demand top dollar unless you're willing to do the work needed. So I talk about this a lot too, where we go, hey, can you get away with putting your house on the market without updating your kitchen? Or can you get away with putting your house on the market for top dollar just to try out a price? In certain areas, you can still try out a price. And I think that as we are moving forward, moving through the year and so on, as we figure out what our government is doing, what the economy is going to show up and do. I mean, there's so many what ifs and questions out there about what's going to happen that if I wanted to move and I was committed to do it, yes, I would do it. Because here's the part that I think a lot of people don't think about. And Glenn, like, this is something I want you to think about. The market that you sell in is the market that you buy in. So if you're willing to price strategically and where you should price according to condition and your market to price well, then what that means is you get to look at what is the market doing. There's a lot of people in the housing market right now that are not pricing appropriately. It means that there's negotiation room on these houses. It means that I'm negotiating more and more closing costs into contracts. So if you would like to, quote unquote, get a deal in a housing market that is continuing to appreciate, at least here in the upstate it is, then I would say, sure, do it right now. Because whenever I look at over the years, I mean, golly, I remember like 2-3 years ago, there was a property that came up and I was like, oh man, that'd be perfect. Oh, I've only lived in the house for 2.5 years, 3 years. I can't sell it now and go buy that. Man, I wish I would have done it because that property, I could have afforded it. I could have done it. I could have sold my then house and been able to still move forward on it. Now, I still did that this past year. Still worked out really well. And I don't know, the what ifs, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. So I would say if you're looking at doing it, yes, go ahead and do it. If you're in the Florida market, talk to a really good realtor. I talked to somebody that maybe didn't have the best realtor. They hadn't heard from their realtor in like 2 months and they'd been on the market. That is not good. So hope I answered your question a little bit, just my quick ideas about that. Hey, Diane, how's it going? Crazy economic times continue and we fall into a true recession. Will a cash buyer be at an advantage when buying a house? Yes, maybe. I think you have an advantage anyways right now because you're able to go in and say, hey, this is guaranteed and I'm not concerned about a interest rate. So if anything, you can come in and say guaranteed, like financing isn't going to take a hit. You don't have a job to lose when you're usually a cash buyer. Like that's the cash, it's set aside. Don't be like the guy on one of my listings this past week that went and spent his down payment money. That's not fun. Making a contract fall apart because, you spend money that's meant for a transaction. I don't know. Anyways, we live, we learn. All right. So we're about 20 minutes in here of me just rambling. I've got a lot of things to talk about. If you're just joining this show, go in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you have real estate questions, there is this really cool QR code. See if I can point in the right direction. Ta-da! Over here. That if you scan that with your phone, it will take you to our team's contact site. And one of the cool things that we do that we provide for people, for you guys that are either, if you're local here already and you're like, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, would love to provide a market evaluation for your home. It's free. It's something that we go into the conversation. Maybe it's now, maybe it's 6 months from now, maybe it's a year. But really, I want to make sure that you know what your current active numbers are. Other things that we do is we also provide a relocation packet that is free for anyone that is looking to make a relocation either within the upstate or from out of state into state. If you just go through that QR code and put in your name and your good mailing address, I would love to send one of those to you for free. It's full of like magazines and maps and some Greenville swag and stickers and stuff like that. Because I like paper. I like to be able to hold things because too much is online these days. And it's just fun to get something in the mail like that. So that's what the QR code is up there for. And it's also, of course, up there if you would like to schedule a time with me or an agent from our team to talk about your relocation. That's what we do. Or selling your house, because that's also what we do. All right. here we go. Let's go ahead and look into what we have going on tonight. So I saw this article earlier. Come on over here. So North Carolina healthcare provider, notice it doesn't say what, let's see here. It's called, what's the healthcare? A North Carolina-based nonprofit hospital system has applied to build a $132 million hospital on Greenville's east side. So Novant Health, Novant Health. We'll say Novant. It sounds better. Novant Health plans to build its first upstate hospital. And here's what I see whenever I see stuff like this coming in. I see jobs. When we're creating more jobs, we have more people. Like, this area can support this type of development. So currently the hospital systems are Prisma and then, Prisma and then St. Francis. And those are the two big hospital systems. And then also you go down to Anderson and you get ANMed. So being that here Greenville County faces a shortage of hospital beds needed, this is something that I think is going to be really important for the upstate. It's going to provide the healthcare jobs that we've needed. I've got a couple of people right now looking to relocate that are wanting to get jobs in this field. So being able to see that, hey, we've got definitely more coming to the area, hospitals, so on. I've noticed here recently too that they're building out more urgent care. So Prisma recently has also started building more of those of the urgent cares across the upstate, because let's face it, populations are going up and we need to be able to care for those people. So first thing there, hey John, how's it going? No, you haven't missed anything. You're good. So next, let's go into more here as well. We've got, for you guys that fly in, so if you fly into GSP, we're getting another restaurant in the airport. A Sully Steamers is coming to the restaurant, which I don't know about you, but like I usually fly out earlier in the morning, and seeing that there will be a place to get a really good breakfast sandwich other than Chick-fil-A is something I'm looking forward to. So basically right now that there's a Sully Steamers downtown Greenville, and then there's one in Simpsonville. I don't know if there's a Sully Steamers anywhere else in the upstate. Right?
Downtown Greenville,
And Simpsonville, right? Just those two? I think so. Yeah. So now there's going to be one in the airport. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
The downtown Sully Steamers is open real late at night.
Is it really?
Yep, that thing comes in handy, let me tell you.
Oh, it comes in clutch whenever you need a sandwich. Late at night. What's late at night downtown Greenville? For real.
Past midnight.
Past midnight?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I saw past midnight when I was like,
they are open till
out.
3 a.m. Friday and Saturday at the downtown location.
What?
Yeah.
Who needs a bagel sandwich at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning? That's ridiculous. You know, if you need your bagel sandwich, you might as well. Here we go. It's yummy. I really can't complain too much about it though, because you know, Sully Steamers is just, I was actually there this week.
I mean, that's good stuff.
So here's our little plug for Mr. Mike Cruz. If you guys are coming into the area for the first time, or you want a good overview with lots of history, I cannot recommend going on. I cannot recommend this enough. Going on Make Greenville Yours Greenville.com. Make Greenville Yours tours with Mr. Mike Cruz. We, as a team, we went on his Greenville tour this past week. I've recommended it for years. And literally, like, I sat down with Mike when I first started my real estate team, and he was really starting to build out his tour business for Greenville. And we were like, hey, we should get together sometime. Like, this would be fun. And now I recommend him, and you guys go and you take his tour, and you're like, yeah, we know that we don't like Travelers Rest, or we do like Travelers Rest, or hey, we'd love to be around downtown if we can find something. And he meets everybody at Sully Steamers. So before the tour, and they grab breakfast and they go. It's kind of fun. All right, let's keep on rolling down through here. So I did see this. I think this is kind of goes along with what we're talking about off and on tonight. Got a interesting, got a little bit of a not so great thing here. So a current government advisor calls South Carolina's BMW's $14.8 billion operation detrimental to the U.S. Company urges end to tariffs. So here's the deal. And I've seen a lot about this from my friends and just here locally, because if you guys know anything about the upstate, you do need to know that BMW, the jobs that it provides for this area, like, there are thousands of people that are employed by BMW here, and they're pretty proud of the product that they build and what they put out, and and Greenville itself is proud of just having this. BMW is a huge vehicle manufacturer here. So here what they're saying is that BMW relies on components for these vehicles that are brought in or sent out to Europe from South Carolina. And it's just, I don't know, like, the tariffs are something that I'm very interested to see how it all pans out. I know you guys have comments and opinions. If you can, put them in the comments for me, because I'd love to know what your thoughts are, because we have seen so many different things reported this week, last week, as we were building up to all of this. I'm really interested to see how, the tariffs today, I think they went down to like 10%, and then China got a huge tariff on it. And I just don't know what's going on. So when it comes to that, let's talk about it just for a second here. And I don't like it whenever somebody talks really poorly about a huge part of our local economy here, because that affects so much more than just BMW. It's going to affect Greenville is not just manufacturing for automotive manufacturing. That is not it. Okay. There's many other industries in Greenville, and that's why the upstate tends to stay very healthy whenever you look at just across the board, the economy. However, the tariffs. So what I'm actually more concerned about is how they are going to affect our new construction, and how they are going to affect the pricing on new construction. So, how tariffs impact the home building industry, I think, is going to be huge, just because it's going to make things more expensive. Whenever I've been looking at, so this is one of the websites I've been following pretty closely, found an article today on National Association of Home Builders, and trying to become more involved in my local home builders association as well. But what this says basically is we're already going to see housing prices increase. Okay. It's going to happen. The incentives, the interest rates, all of those things are going to go away. So here's some of the options. Okay. Retailer could try to get the importing country to pay for some of the tariff costs by telling that country will pay less for the product. Retailer could absorb the cost of the tariff and reduce its profit margin. They could raise the price of washing machines in stores. That's probably going to happen. And it could do a combination of the above. So here's what I'm thinking is probably going to happen. And we will probably see it towards the end of the year. Here's something else in this article that I thought was very important as well. Lumber. So Canada accounts for roughly 85% of all U.S. softwood lumber. It's what we're using to build homes with here in the upstate. Currently, the department is imposing a 14.5% tariff on Canadian lumber. This is going to increase prices. And it plans to double the tariff later this year. This is going to make those new construction houses that right now are, say, in the low 300s, they're going to make them probably mid to high 300s. The new construction right now in the upstate is accounting for about, I think the last number I heard was new construction is accounting for about 40% of our market, and it is killing the resale market. I said what I said. So here's what I mean. Like, do we need more houses? Absolutely. We need more inventory. We still don't have the inventory needed for the demand. All right. Take that as you will. We are not in a buyer's market yet here in the upstate. We are still in a seller's market. But what these tariffs do is it going to affect the resale homes? Well, no, we're not. There's nothing there. They're already built. They're already here. But at the same thing, I'm looking at the new construction world. And if anything, I feel like it's going to balance it out some. Where we see those new home construction going up in price, and it's going to cost a little bit more to build a brand new house versus buy the resale home. And that's what we are currently experiencing in the market right now, is that if you live anywhere near new construction, it is taking longer to sell your home. You're going to have to really go in and price well. Make sure you have a lender that has incentives. Make sure you're offering the home warranty, everything, because that's what's happening. I want to go over here to the comments real fast, see what's happening. John, we're going to look at the map just for you. Let's see here. Mr. Lowe, hey. All right. Do you have a lot of really good New York pizza places in Greenville, Simpsonville? If so, have a list for us when we visit. I've got a couple good pizza places, but if you are watching this video and you're local, drop in the comments for me some really good pizza places for Mark and his wife to visit. Eric, yes, I've got to have my glass tonight. It's a whole thing. I'll tell you about my day later. John, what do we have to say? I prefer things made in the U.S., but the reality is all cars are made with imported parts. So until all parts are made here, it is what it is. I agree. I agree. Okay. Hey, if you are, before I kind of go, if you are just joining us and you notice that my internet connection is a little wonky, just so you know, we've got storms coming through the area and I've got Starlink internet. So every so often my internet gets really spotty and gross, and maybe someday I will have fiber internet like the rest of you really cool people, but we deal with what we've got. So it's okay. I'm still here. I just have some spotty internet tonight because we've got bad thunderstorms coming through. And BT Dubs, on the bad thunderstorms. No tornado things that I'm aware of. They have called for potentially some hail. That's about our thing, and we get microbursts. So if you don't know what that is, feel free to Google it, and maybe I'll have another story for another time. All right, let's go here. Glenn, you got, does South Carolina overbuild new housing developments like Texas and Florida? No. Okay, so here's the thing about Texas and Florida. I've been both places. I've seen both places. I've experienced those markets in both of those places, both from family members that live there in the area, and then also so many of our relocating clients are coming from these states. So really, like, we have a lot of new construction here. It is happening. But at the same time, there's also a really good resale market. And I don't, just personal opinion, okay, my friend, I don't feel like we're being overbuilt. Hey, Isaac, how's it going? Grand scheme of things, they're not terrible increases. No, they're not. But you know what? We given them, we talk about an inch, they're going to take a mile. That's what happens. Let's see here. John, sidewall pizza. Yes, very good. Stoner's in Traveler's Rest is actually not too bad. Stoner's pizza is good as well.
I had the slice in Simpsonville the other day.
Oh, was it fantastic?
It was fantastic, yeah.
Very good. Let's see here. Where else? I do like a good sidewall pizza though. Okay. There's another place. Right down the road. It's also on Main Street, Traveler's Rest. What is it? Oh, it's next to the brewery. Yeah. Golly, I can't remember it. There's so many different, like, I think there's like Coastal Crust. Not my favorite. Just gonna say. Don't fight me. It's okay. It's a cool place. You can at least go there once. I don't like, so they do true like wood-fired pizza, and I don't like my crust to have wood burnt crust. And so it's very smoky and burnt-ish. And so it's just not my thing. I don't know. It's my thing. Whatever. Okay. What's your favorite pizza place, Michael?
I think the slice might be it.
The slice? Yeah? Okay.
It was really good.
I've never been to the slice. We may have to stop for lunch again.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. All right. Let's see here. Oh, Cindy. Hey, girl. Hey, what's up? Took a tour with Mike. Yep. Mark. No. I live in like further reaches Traveler's Rest, almost Marietta, and my street is weird. And no, we don't have fiber. Where I moved from, we did have fiber though in Traveler's Rest. Just so you know, it's out here. Goodness gracious, don't do that. What wine am I know. I am not drinking a red wine for once. I'm drinking a rosé. It's very good. It's called a Prism Rosé. I forget where it's from. It is very good. Let's see here. And Diane, looking forward to summer. When do schools traditionally open and close? So last day of school for my kids is, spring break is actually next week for my children. It's very late this year, very late spring break. And summer break starts the end of May. I think we actually... I right now, everything is getting planned around when I open up my pool because I cannot wait to open up the pool. I just know that the pool is going to be open for about a week while they're still at school. So I'll have it all to myself for at least a week. And that's the very end of May. Oh, geez. But we haven't missed as much school this half of the school year. Last year, because of the hurricane, they missed like 2 weeks of school, and it was a whole thing. So let's see here. Ooh, fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. Yes. Okay. Agreed. I had never had them before. If you haven't tried the fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop, they are fantastic. Michael. Oh my word. Okay. So we're going to have to culture Michael and take him to the Whistle Stop and Traveler's Rest. Also, it's definitely a thing. What?
I have had fried green tomatoes though, and they are delicious.
They are, but you've never been to the Whistle Stop. Sorry, the coolest thing about the Whistle Stop is they have a train that runs around the top of the restaurant. So, all right, let's see here. What else do I have to talk about here tonight? Oh, Susan. Hey, sorry, I saw your comment pop up here before I start going back into all of my articles. Yes, there was a hurricane that came up here through Greenville and Western North Carolina the very end of September. Don't know if you remember that. It was not put out on the news as I think it should have been. It was a really bad thing. We didn't have power here for something like 5 days. My parents didn't have power for 11 days up in Asheville. Golly, they're still really rebuilding. They are. It was rough. There's areas there that there's entire towns that are completely gone still from that hurricane that came through, just because it came up through the mountains. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? Yes, John, trains at the Whistle Stop. So good. And if you love trains, you have to go to the train museum. We haven't been able to put it out on video yet because every time we go, they're closed.
The model trains?
The model trains. We're going to have to go see the model trains at some point. The model trains are in the Taylor's Mill. Yes, definitely worth it. So, okay, let's keep going here. I was clicking around, finding different websites tonight to go, okay, well, what shops are coming? So, London Fog Stitchery, that sounded like fun. Bridgeway Station, obviously. Love Bridgeway Station. Van's Chocolates. West Greenville. We've talked about West Greenville. Definitely all the different shops that are coming in there. Let's see here. Half Moon Outfitters. How do we say this? Sovereign? It should be Sovereign, right? Sovereign? I don't know.
Wait, they're bringing Sovereign back?
Yeah. Here, look. Is it not?
No.
Is this old?
Sovereign's closed now.
Dang. How dare they not update websites? Oh, dear. Let's see here.
That was one of the ones I mentioned in the West Village video that we did.
That's true. That we were told wasn't actually West Greenville, but West Village. And then we looked and it's West Greenville. All right. Let's see here. Let's keep going here. Okay. Big news. And this is going to affect so much. So if you are visiting Greenville, starting like this week, next week, they're actually finally starting to do the renovation of the Church Street Bridge. And it needs to be done, y'all. It's so bad. The road up there is bad. You kind of feel like the entire bridge is starting to fall apart, and it's huge. There's not an easy place like for foot traffic, but there is a lot of foot traffic around Greenville. So here's something I'm going to take this picture and kind of explain a little bit. So you see these buildings out here in the distance. So this is the Liberty One building. And right here is where the Interstate 385 dumps into downtown Greenville. Well, a lot of people take 385 into downtown and then they turn left and they go straight and they cross the Church Street Bridge, because back over here of this picture is the hospital system. And so many people drive in that way every single day. And the speed limit is dropping it's already dropped from 35 to 25. And then I think they're dropping it again once the work starts to like 10 miles an hour. It is going to be a crawl. So here's the thing. If your GPS wants you to take this route, I promise you they are so like, I explain like Greenville as a bowl of spaghetti whenever it comes to the roads. Okay. Just there it is. There's so many different ways around, but a lot of people don't know the different ways around. So here is my big recommendation. If you are coming into Greenville, don't freak out. Please, if you see yourself coming in to Greenville and immediately taking a left off of like once you hit East North Street, I think it is, coming in through downtown, don't take the left, just go straight and instead take a left on Academy. And then that will get you just to the other side of downtown. So just go straight down through and take a left onto Academy.
Great opportunity to pull up the map.
Ah, yes. John, I'm pulling up the map just for you, my friend. Also, that's totally Michael. All right, let's do this. Map time. Let's see if I can pull it up without all the houses showing up. Yes. Okay, here we go. Great times, great times. All right, so we've got, orient myself here. All right, so see this right here? Here's 385, and this is where it dumps into downtown. And then, so it comes through here, and then this is one of the main lights, okay, where a lot of people decide where is it exactly that they are going to drive. Now, I think it's funny, 385 is actually still right here. I don't know the difference in the symbols. Do you know the difference in the symbols? 385 and 385 over here? I don't know. Anyways, maybe it's known as like it's part of the highway. Anyways, so here's what's happening, right? Goodness. Here. I think it's about, yeah, it's right here. This is the bridge. And see, like there's ways to get down into downtown from this bridge. Getting to the other side is just going to be a pain. And here's what I would recommend doing. Come into downtown here, either take a right here and go Academy Street around to get to where you need to go over here, or go East North Street and just go straight. And then it'll take you, and still you can take a left onto Academy. Or, goodness, you can get off onto, so whenever you get onto East North Street here, then you could go ahead and take the exit down here on Lawrence Road. And you've got a little bit more of like navigating to get around. But I think the main like travel is either going to be getting off and going Stone Avenue or Academy. And so from that, it is just going to be, look, they have been warning us. So here's the other thing that you guys need to know. You don't need to know this. So my office is right here. That little red X is where my office is. And right there is the bridge. And I cross it almost daily, multiple times a day, sometimes, depending if I'm coming to and from, because it is the fastest way to get to the interstate, which means I'm going to have to find another way because I am impatient. Surprise! Impatient, Aubree? No way. So there is that. All right, we're going to keep on going here. We've got a little bit of development that's happening. The Baby Bilos. This building has been filled with, I don't know, a couple different businesses over the years. It has been vacant for a really long time. And as of right now, what I think they're doing is they are looking to renovate it, develop it, do something different with this building that is just randomly sitting on the outskirts of downtown in prime location. That's something where when I see stuff like this, I go, ooh, there's still room for development. We are not completely built up around here. It's a great small city, and stuff like this just shows that there's still room for that development. All right, let's keep going. So I didn't say anything about this last week because technical difficulties. So Spartanburg is quickly growing as one of the nation's fastest growing metros. And this is just something that I say it a lot of times. I don't think a lot of people give Spartanburg the credit that it's due for being a good place to live, because you see the news, you see the reporting of crime rates and so on about Spartanburg. And really, that's only certain pockets of Spartanburg. There's some really great areas. And when it comes to housing and the neighborhoods, I mean, golly, we filmed in a Ryan Holmes community about a month ago now, right?
Yeah.
And this neighborhood was monstrous. It's going to have like over 1,000 homes, multiple swimming pools, a pond that you can go and fish in. It was wild. It was huge. So just notating it for tonight that, hey, you guys, population in Spartanburg is growing quicker than it has in the past. And I think it's part of, I don't know, like this is a great graph showing it from 2020, 2024. Let's see here. That's 10, 20, 35. So almost 40,000 people have moved to Spartanburg just over the last 4 or 5 years. That's pretty significant for an area like that. And they're talking about Spartanburg County, not Spartanburg city limits. That is definitely Spartanburg County, which for you guys that aren't aware, let's do this. Pull this out. Spartanburg County is all of this here. So like Boiling Springs, Duncan Inman, Lyman, parts of Greer, parts of Reedville, Roebuck, Moore, down into Woodruff. This is Spartanburg right here. And then you have Greenville County. And Greenville County is actually the state of South Carolina's largest county. I don't know if that's by acreage or people, so don't quote me on that, but somehow, some way it is largest. Okay, let's go on. What else do we have to talk about tonight? Oh, here we go. This was big news as well. So Spartanburg's ballpark opened up last week, and we didn't say anything about it. I just like blew past it, and I can't find any good finished pictures of it. I have looked all evening, so I just don't think there are any great pictures. They all look like AI modifications.
I guess I gotta go down there.
I guess we have to go. Something like that. So been looking at this. It looks really nice. And they opened last week. It's been a huge thing to have the Spartanburgers, which I think is a hilarious name. So
all I know is that the burgers at that stadium better be good.
They better be fire, because to be called the Spartanburgers and have a McDonald's hamburger is going to be for the birds. It's going to be awful. So Spartanburgers, if you hear us, if you see us, tell us how your burgers are. We will come review them. It'll be great. So, all right. It would make a fantastic video. We have to go to try the hamburgers of the Spartanburgers. Maybe we can meet the Spartanburger, because you know the Spartanburger. Maybe he has a name.
Yeah, I'm looking this
Oh, he's got to have a name. Okay. Last thing, while Michael's looking up the name and probably going to jump in with a random name. We'll give it a second before we talk about this fun thing here. 16 affordable housing developments near Greenville. is the last thing I'm going to talk about tonight. So let's see here. Actually, yep. So, and then as soon as I talk about this, then I'll come back over the comments because I see a whole bunch of questions over there that I need to answer. So this article is from October, and it just shows that the innocuous they are definitely trying to make sure we have good, affordable housing near downtown, near Greer, Greenville, Taylor's in this area. I love seeing this. The Alliance is looking to build up affordable units for families. So we've got more apartments coming. The townhomes are getting built up everywhere. I will say this, we have so many townhome communities in the upstate, and it's just not, I think it's a good investment if you're going to be here for a minute. If you are looking to use it as a second home to snowbird to, or just come to visit, I think a townhome in the right location is perfect. But at the same time, I have people right now that bought their townhome 2 years ago and they want to resell it now, and they're just struggling to sell it. So there's that. So something to be said for townhomes. They're good first home investments. They're good downsize investments. They are good if you can rent them out. But the resale market for townhomes right now is so hard in the upstate. Unless you are close to downtown Greenville, because then you're considered more of a luxury area. Lots of apartments, lots of different developments, Nickeltown developments. So this one blows my mind every time I see Nickeltown getting built up, because that area used to be awful, like really bad. If you were moving here to the area, I'd be like, yeah, we're not going to look at that side of town. And I'd feel okay with that. Because I wouldn't want my mom to live on that side of town. So, not because of anything, but because we honestly, for lack of better ways of saying it, I don't think she should have a drug deal going on next door. So, but it's not like that anymore. It's definitely gentrified, and it's still street by street over there, though. I would be careful, though. All right, let's see here. What else? Other developments. Golly, there's just so many. And it's not like it's like, I still don't feel like this is an overdevelopment of the area. I do think, though, it's something that I'm watching pretty closely, because some of these developments, they got announced and then they're actually not happening. Something has come about with the zoning commissions or anything like that. They're like, hey, we're not going to do this now. So watching that, figuring it out, so on. But there's a lot of growth happening in Greenville. I drove in the $1 billion project in downtown Greenville this past week, where Susan, I saw your question earlier about the Pottery Barn. Where are you, Susan? Yeah, here you go. Susan, where's the Pottery Barn going in? So it's going in that $1 billion project that they're building up. It's the multi-use, like condos, apartments, businesses. There's a fresh market, not a fresh market. It's the other healthy grocery store. Whole Foods. Yeah, there's a Whole Foods. There's a Whole Foods going in there. There's Pottery Barn. A couple other big name retailers are going in. I'm really excited to see it show up.
By the way, what? I've got nothing on the mascot.
Spartanburg.
It does say that it's a burger, but
does he have a name?
I'm not seeing the name, and I'm not seeing proof of life. So we'll see.
Spartanburg. Hey, if you guys are watching the stream here, the show, we need to know, is there a burger mascot, and what's his name, and is he alive? That's it. Okay. Let's keep going here. Cynthia. Bridgeway Station in Malden, great restaurants, coffee shops, atmosphere is amazing. I agree. The coffee shop there is beautiful. Like, it's one of the prettier ones. We have to do that coffee shop video, but we're gonna only do it downtown. I don't know. We have one in the works, guys, to show off the coffee shops. Absolutely. Let's see here, Diane. Large movie theaters in Greenville and any small, cute, older movie theaters. Why, yes, we do have these. So there's Regal Cinema off of Woodruff Road is probably the biggest one. And then Camelot movie theater off of Lawrence Road is the older, smaller movie theater that does a lot of dollar movies over the summertime. So kids are out of school. John, I know you love the map. Hello. All right, let's keep going. Let's see here. Other questions here. Diane, are there any good opportunities for retirees to volunteer their time or skills? There are so many. There are so many good opportunities. I would recommend getting in touch. It depends on where you want to volunteer or what you want to give your time back to. But I mean, the arts have a huge program here. So does like the Peace Center. There's a lot. I have quite a few friends who volunteer at the Peace Center for, tickets and doors and helping people get seated. It's a fun thing. But there's a lot. I would also check out Furman. Furman has a lot of classes available, things that people donate their time to. And their demographic there is a little bit older. Let's see here. John, Major League Farm Team in Spartanburg. Yes, the Greenville Drive is the farm team for Boston Red Sox, right? I think. Yes.
I think so. That
yeah.
Right.
Yep. Ooh. There is a Sprouts, not in the $1 billion project, but a Sprouts just went in off of East North Street, right across the road from Bob Jones. East North Street in Pleasantburg. And then let's see here. Oh, what is the name of the bistro place that we went in Anderson? Michael's gonna find it out, and then we're gonna answer you, and then we're gonna like wrap up for the night because I'm running over. Let's see here, Jim. Oh, I love that name. Jim says that they don't know if they have one yet, but he's got a good one. How about Pat T Burger? Patty, we're just gonna call you Patty. Oh, I love it.
The bistro.
Yeah.
The Bradbury Bistro.
Ooh, Susan, you hear that? We went to the Bradbury Bistro. It was so good. I loved that. It was very nice. We should do that again today. Anyways, okay. Glenn, yep, from Boston, you would like, I would assume, the Sox. So the Greenville Drive is the feeder team for the Red Sox. Yeah, all that. All right. With that, holy moly, chatted about all sorts of things tonight. So here's the deal. We will catch you next time, next week, same time, same place. And tell your friends, because this is a fun community, and it's something that we help each other through our questions and talking about things. And I splatter in a whole bunch of real estate things and we talk about it. So anyways, guys, as you know, like we've got the QR code up here. If you want to reach out for a free relocation packet, we mail that to you. Or if you're just interested in scheduling a time with me or maybe with Christy on the team to talk about more of your real estate needs. So anyways, guys, you have a good rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. All right, bye.